Hi YouTubers. In all the years I've been looking after this woodland since we planted it, I've noticed quite an increase in wild campers. So I thought I'd show you how to do it properly. Okay, here we go. I'll show you this. So most people wouldn't notice this, but there's obviously been a wild camper here. You can tell the moss has been pulled off this big rock, and there's some rocks down here, probably used to weigh down his tarp or something. Nice little seat in the shelter there. You can tell they're fresh because they haven't got any moss or lichen on. Don't know where he took them from, probably this old wall here. But anyway, this guy is an amateur. Most people now wouldn't notice this. You know, give it another year, it'll be hardly noticeable at all. I want to show you how it should really be done, so we're going to go over here. So, what is wild camping? Well, the idea is to go out and find the last few places that are still wild and try and civilise them by cutting things, burning things, and putting a fine mulch of plastic across the landscape. So how to find these places? Well, they're often marked by fast food wrappers and disposable coffee cups. You can often find a good wild camping spot by following footpaths. These are marked by little black bags hanging out of trees full of dog poo. When wild camping, the best places to park are across trackways or gateways. So here we have a true professional wild camper. The idea is to lug as much equipment as you possibly can into a lovely spot like this, stay the night, and then leave it here, so this way other wild campers will know where to come. So I say this guy's a professional wild camper. I have to show you this. This is quite amateur actually, this fire. He's obviously used dead wood rather than snapping off these young trees. And he's done it in the open, so nothing's got burned. So within a year no one will notice it's here. He's left no impact really, which is pretty rubbish. So you may be wondering what trees you can chop down for a fire. Helpfully, people put these things on them. These are markers that show you that the landowner wants you to destroy these trees. Here we go, this is Gappy's Guide to Wildfires. The idea is not to do it like this. This is awful. You know, he's done it in the open, he's got rocks around it to stop the grass burning. Wrong way to do it. This is the way to do it. You need to put it at the base of a nice old oak tree. The bigger the better. And the idea is to try and kill the oak tree. While you're doing it, you can snap off young trees and burn them. If you pour a bit of lighter fluid or something on, you should be able to get the green wood burning. But essentially the idea is to get as big a fire as possible and destroy as much wildlife as possible. I have to say I'm very impressed with this one. I've seen maybe a dozen wild camping spots in the last year around here. This is one of the best. Possibly the only one that was better. If you look up there, just below the ridge in the woods, there was a wild camper up there a few months back and had a night behind the dry stone wall, set fire to his sleeping bag, you know, and then decided to leave it up there rather than bringing it back down. So being responsible, he pulled the coping stone off the wall to weigh the sleeping bag down, and then that let in 20 goats and 10 sheep. And yeah, 30 acres of woodland. The sheep and the goats ring-barked all the big trees up to 10 centimetres across. So that will have had an impact on a landscape scale. You'll be able to see the impact of that for decades. So he did a good job there. So campers, you can see I've been so impressed by the way this enhances the landscape that I've decided to carefully bag it up. And I'm going to recreate it in the Tate Modern as an inspiration to us all. Some wild campers make no attempt to destroy the landscape. These people are selfish and should be ignored.